Thanks. Northeast Wisconsin also marking the day with several parades across the area, including in Appleton, where its annual parade and ceremony honors U.S. service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. City leaders tell Maria Parmigiani how tradition and community support keep the event going year after year.
Appleton kept Memorial Day tradition front and center Monday, hosting an annual parade followed by the Moment of Remembrance ceremony at Riverside Cemetery. The parade stepped off at 9 a.m., drawing hundreds of participants and thousands of spectators.
I'm glad they were here because I think it's important for the young people to be here to hear the stories so they understand really what today is all about. But until they really hear it at a Memorial Day ceremony, see veterans marching and hear their stories, that's what really is the most impactful for them.
The city says it takes volunteers and community partners to keep events like this going, even as budgets tighten elsewhere.
Well, I think it's important and it's incumbent upon communities to prioritize these kinds of events. And here in the city of Appleton, we have an incredible volunteer parade committee and community organizations that rally around these events. Municipal budgets are under a lot of constraint. So this is just representative of the kind of community we have.
This year's program also featured high school students delivering speeches and poems, plus patriotic music and the traditional rifle salute, and also taps. And along the parade route, a special tribute rolled by, banners listing Outagamie County service members who died in military service from the Civil War to today. Honoring those who've made the ultimate sacrifice on this Memorial Day. In Appleton, Maria Parmigiani, Action 2 News.